do a quick video for you. This here is an old schoolhouse that's on the ranch, and it's full of old tin and pigeon droppings, so it's pretty nasty. But this didn't have this wide of a door when they built it. You know, it was just a regular, would have been a regular door like that. And so what happened is one of the cousins of the family thought he was going to be a big time rancher, and he came down here, and I don't know what, he just had his head where it didn't belong, but he cut all this wall out and he put these cross ties in here, as you can see there, and then just put doors on them, which I don't know why he did that, because they weren't wide enough to pull anything into them. But we used to stack sack cake down here, and that's where the old chalkboard used to be. And the reason why, what happened, why we're doing this now, is you see, when he did this, he only supported the front half. I mean, this is a thick wall, and so over time it allowed it to crack, and this wall just didn't have any support under the backside, and so it just bowed down and cracked out. And so we have these pipes in place now. I just put them in the other day, and this one's still on a jack. And what we'll do, and we've done this in several other places, is we'll come in with our heavier pipe now that we have this supported, and we'll put angle iron on this side and that side and build a frame in it, and then we'll put a big heavy pipe in with a bolt at the top that we can turn, and we will actually jack this thing back up as much as we can, as much as that is shelled out. You have a lot of this loose stuff, so we'll have to take this off and let some of that fall, but we will jack it up and re-support this entire section, because all this roof is just sitting right here with nothing to support it. And so we will jack it up, get it to where it's not going to settle anymore, because that's about the best you can do with this old rock like that. It's lost all its structure to it, because I mean, that's just kind of an adobe laid rock. They didn't use cement because they didn't have it, and so they laid all their rock with this dirt. It's an adobe kind of a mixture, and that's how they set all their rock. So there's no cement in this, and those boards there are so you could nail to them. They call them gringo blocks, is what they call them. But yeah, that's kind of what we're after. We're gonna, and then once we have it secured, we're gonna completely close this off, except for like a 9-foot door, 8-foot door in here. That way, because we have a lot of work to do down here on a set of pins and some fences, and we can keep our skid steer and salt and stuff like that in here. But all this is just we're gonna clean all this out. Thankfully, the skid steer has a door, and it's enclosed, so you don't have to breathe all that crap in. But we did a lot of metal roofs, and so that was kind of, we had some construction business, and we did a lot of metal roofs and barns and stuff. And we pretty much cleaned out all the good stuff that there was and built windbreaks. And this is just kind of the junk that's left over, and we'll pull it out of here and set it outside and put some rocks on it so it doesn't blow away, and clean the rest of it out, and that way we can use this building again. It's a pretty cool building. It just needs to be cleaned up. Let's see if we can see them. There they are. Alright, so I'm going to pan you up here, and if you see that, those are cow hides. Those are rolled cow hides, and there's I think there's a couple of them left up there. what those are from, those are from the 1930s when we had the bad drought here. It was so bad that the government came in and shot everyone's cattle. And they shot all of our cows and all the neighbors' cows. And they, to make it fair, they paid you $5 a head. Well, that, because they were just starving to death. I mean, that's just how it was. The ones that were here, they shot part of them. A lot of our cows missed it because the ones that were here they shot, but we sent a lot of them over towards the mountains and on some grass over there. And actually my grandfather, he went with the cows and he stayed with them, and he actually graduated high school where the cows were located. And so, but the people who didn't have that option, the government came in and just shot their cows. I mean, there was no, you're either yeah, and they paid you $5, or you're like, no, you can't do that, and they shot them anyway. And but it was pretty bad, and I can only imagine what 10 years of it was like. But this was the Lone Star Schoolhouse. It's pretty neat, but we're gonna finish it back up and get it to where we can use it again without all of our neighbors going through and stealing all of our shit out of there. Because that's becoming a problem. Theft is becoming kind of an issue. But yeah, so those, I would actually like to get those cowhides down someday and wet them up. And I think you can wet them. If you soak them, then they'll get smooth enough that you can unroll the cows. So you got to replace a post here. I'm gonna turn you. See, we have some gates to build and a fence to build, and so what we're after is we want a place that we can just keep our auger and skid steer and not have to haul it back all the time. That's one of our barns. It's a 2-story rock barn. Top story's wood, and we tinned the outside of it to keep it from rotting away. But yeah, we have a set of pins here, and we need to do a lot of work on them, and it's gonna take we'll just replace them with pipe. So we're gonna have to store stuff down here, and that's about the best place to do it. We don't have to haul it every day. And the benefit is it just makes it another usable building that we have. And so these are all wood pins, and they just need to be replaced. They're old and they're worn out. They just rot away, and they were built in the 30s and 40s, and they're done. They're worn out and they need to be replaced. But I really don't want my stuff walking off while I'm trying to do it, because that doesn't help. And it's getting to be a really big problem here. But back to the cowhides, where I was going with that is, I mean, I know they wouldn't, all the hair would probably be gone on the outside for sure, but I would just like to unroll them and see what brands were on them. I think that would be very, very interesting. I'm looking at my cows. I'm getting spacey, and I got one who's just chasing me. But if you if you could find a brand on them that had some like decent hair, or just wasn't just atrociously horrible looking, you could just cut it out of the hide and put it in like a picture frame or something. I think that'd be really cool. But I think it would be a hell of a process just to try to get to those things. But at some point, I think I'll do it, just because it's part of the history of the place, and I think it would be interesting to look at them. But so that's what's coming up. We're gonna do the doors here in the next probably week or two, because we have to start a project. We're gonna build a we're building a commodity barn for a small feed yard, and so we're gonna be up there for a while, and that way we can get this done, and then once that's done, we'll start building fences and stuff. I gotta build a barbed wire fence before we start doing any work around the barn, but you know, at least if it's, we can kind of get some stuff cleaned up around there, and that's one of the big issues, is cleaning up all the broken boards and everything, and all the old posts and everything that's just falling down. Just clean it up and put it in a pile and either burn it when we have a good snow or when it gets green, because it's, the cross ties they're all rotted off, and so you can't reuse them, but you know, that's kind of where that's at. So give you one last shot of the barn. It's pretty cool. I really enjoy it. Maybe I'll give you guys a video of it sometime, because we're gonna go in and we have a lot of work to do to it too, to keep it where it's usable and safe. So that is the oldest building on the ranch, and I think it's probably the coolest building on the ranch. So thanks for watching.